I'm Sean Shapiro. I'm a police officer with the Toronto Police Service, and we're members of the IDCC. That's the Impaired Driving Coalition of Canada. I had a chance to speak to some other members, and they shared with me not only why their agencies are members of the IDCC, but myths they wanted to bust. Stay tuned and listen to them now. I am now joined by Mike Millian. He is the president of the Private Motor Truck Council of Canada. Welcome back. I say welcome back because we've actually done this before. We were on a podcast together for TPS Traffic Jam.
Yes, we were. How are you today, Sean?
I'm awesome, and it's good to see you again. Now, of course, I know what you do, but for those who don't, can you tell me what the PMTC is?
Yeah, so we're a not-for-profit membership-based association whose main members are private and dedicated trucking fleets.
This conversation really ties in with your organization, and you, of course, are a member of the IDCC. And yes. What I'd like to know, this hard-hitting question, how is impaired driving? How does it impact your organization, your membership? You know, what does it mean to you?
Yeah, well, and I mean, from our end, our members have all sorts of businesses that have to do with other than the roadside. But the reason that they join our organization is we represent their transportation side of things. Basically, they join us to help them promote safety, best practices in their fleet. Training, all those sorts of things. And their members are out on the road for a significant period of time. You think of a truck driver's day, a professional truck operator, man or woman, they are out on the highways doing their job. And how people operate on those highways obviously affects the safety of their day and how their day goes. So it's very important to them. That is their workplace.
So as an organization that helps educate its members and in safety on the roads, why does the PMTC join the IDCC? And that's a lot of letters.
It's important that a truck driver understands the risks of getting into a vehicle if they are impaired by any way, just as much as it's important that the people that they're sharing the road with understand it. So we want to help educate our members and help our members educate their drivers. We also want to help them understand the consequences of it. We also want to make them understand that if you don't follow these rules, these are what the possible penalties could be. So it's all about education and awareness.
Awesome. That's really that's exactly it for me too. Except for the trucking part.
Yeah.
Now, the IDCC, which is the Impaired Driving Coalition of Canada, has an action plan, and there's all sorts of there's different sections of it. But what speaks to you from what you've seen in that action plan? What speaks to you the most?
I'd say two things. One is to help raise the awareness about the issue that it is. And from the awareness standpoint, I mean, what we're seeing is, and maybe this is a thing with my age group and not so much the younger age group, but a lot of people, when they think about impaired, they still have this focus about alcohol. And there's a lot more to do with impaired driving than just alcohol. And we are seeing that drugs is becoming other drugs. I shouldn't say drugs because alcohol is a drug. But other drugs, marijuana being legalized, a lot more people are using marijuana now, and there seems to be this misunderstanding that driving impaired on alcohol, well, that's bad, but driving if I've had a couple hits of marijuana, joint, whatever, that's okay. It's not as bad. Well, it's not okay. It's impairing you, and there's this. I don't know, this feeling that I think part of the feeling is they think they can't get caught as easy, but you can still get caught. And whether you get caught or not, you are still endangering yourself and other road users. If I can pick on two here, it would also be enforcement. I think enforcement is very important in figuring out ways to best enforce people from two ends. Catching them once they've hit the road. Obviously, we want to be able to do that too. What we'd like to be able to figure out is ways to enforce it where we can catch them before they hit the road. So prevent them from getting on the public roadway in the first place while they're impaired. Like from a commercial vehicle standpoint, it'd be great if we could enforce it from a company standpoint.
Sure.
Where we find out they're impaired before they hit the road. Because after they hit the road, it might be too late.
So utilizing technology and introducing that into the workplace to prevent this from ever happening. Because, yeah, once they're on the road, they're putting everyone at risk. I like that idea. And I'm all about education and enforcement. That's my thing.
Yeah.
So this brings me to another question. There are so many myths surrounding impaired operation. What's one that you would, if you could only pick one, or if it's the most important one on the list, to get right, to set the table straight and let people know what the facts are? What would it be?
As hard as it is to believe, I think the fact that still the only thing that sobers you up is time, and the recognition of how much time.
You really bring up a good point. So many people think that if you drink coffee, you're okay. If you drive with the window open, you're okay. If you sing, you're okay. And at the end of the day, you're right. Time is the only thing. And that's a huge myth.
Keep in mind, as a truck driver, it's zero tolerance. You're supposed to have zero alcohol in your system.
Sure.
But if you have 12 beer and go to bed and get up 8 hours later, if you get pulled over in the truck, you'll probably blow over. And if you don't blow over, you'll certainly blow over the 72-hour warning limit. And I don't think a lot of people still understand that.
Sure. It's not one bathroom break and it's all gone.
Yeah, exactly. And yeah, you said, okay, if you go for, go get some fresh air, have a shower, do this, do that. Okay, it may help you feel a little bit more alert than you were before, but you're still just as impaired. The impairment didn't go away. You just don't feel as groggy as you did before you took it, but you're still groggy.
Well, that is fantastic, because it's great conversations like this that help spread awareness, that draw attention to the important facts, and the work that we're doing with the IDCC is good work. So I thank you for coming to spend time with me today and having this short chat about impaired operation, about what we're doing with the IDCC, and I look forward to future conversations and maybe future podcasts.
I thank you for having me again, and I thank you for what you're doing to raise awareness to this.
Thanks for watching. If you'd like more information about the IDCC, follow the link in the description, because there's lots of information to share.